can you use an already seasoned LLC to own my XRP of my cold wallet? Yeah, you absolutely could. So we use it as the initial capital contribution to the business. We list it on the capital contributions page when you're filling out your operating agreement. We get that notarized. You just list, the wallet address, which asset it is, how much of the asset it is, how many tokens, and then the total dollar amount on the day that you transfer it. And when you do that, you get it notarized. It serves as a timestamp. A lot of people want you to buy another ledger or another cold wallet or send it off of an exchange or do some crazy stuff. I want to move it as little as possible. I want it to just stay on the cold wallet I've already got. So that's why we structure it that way. And there could be tax implications for moving it into another LLC if you're not the sole member of that. And it also could depend, but if it's you and your spouse, if it's qualified joint venture, there's 15 or 16 states in the US where qualified joint ventures allow for tax-free transfer of assets into corporations. You might have a family limited partnership, and then, each one of your family members that are also on the cap table would need to transfer in whatever portion of, assets are going to be added to the corporation in order to maintain their equity in that deal. If you're going to use an already existing LLC, if it's in Wyoming and you've structured it the right way and you have anonymity, sure, but you're going to have to add new provisions to your operating agreement to be able to manage digital assets inside of that and use those as treasury assets if you weren't doing that before. There's a lot of additional considerations when you're moving assets from your personal name into an already existing LLC. You'd also want to look at the liability that you currently have for that company. So if it's managing a piece of real estate or you're doing any type of service with it, if there is liability on that and you're not in a state that has really strong creditor protection, you might be opening yourself up to lawsuits where people could take your digital assets, like if you're in Florida, So, again, I would consult with an attorney if you were going to do that and not set up a new one. I think it's always best to separate assets or segregate assets is where I was headed with that. So just want to remove liability and kind of silo things and separate stuff out and have profits roll up to a management corporation. Up to you though. If you've got private equity, if you've got other things that aren't really super risky and you've already got maybe a Nevada LLC or a South Dakota LLC or maybe a Delaware LLC, those also have the anonymity and some creditor protection depending on which state I just stated, then yeah, probably could use it. If it's not one of those states and you are doing business for something else out of it, you probably want to set something up new for your crypto. So